Yes, welcome back to Kenya USA Times TV. As we prepare to apply for DV 2026 Diversity Visa Lottery application, today I want to set you up for success. And how can I be able to do that? By showing you a step-by-step process on how to do the application itself. So that when the application opens next month, October, you will be able to make a successful application. Okay, the Department of State has not yet released the application dates, but all the same, the information I'm going to share with you will be useful while doing the application. By the way, I'm a DV 2023 Diversity Visa Lottery winner, and whatever I'm sharing with you today will be out of experience. So, welcome. Yes, the first thing you need to know, we have one official DV lottery application website, which is DV program. Let me show you this. Yes, it's this website, dvprogram.state.gov. This is the legitimate website where you will be able to make a DV 2026 application. So this is the first step. You have to know the website to apply DV lottery. And this website is from the Department of State. So it's a government website. It's a legit website. And if you want to know, it ends with .gov. So don't fall for the scammers. Yes, there are so many scammers. Around this time, there are so many scammers who will be ready to pounce on applicants. So be careful with the website. It must end with .gov. This is the first step. And I hope by this time you have the required photos. That is 2-inch square, 600 by 600 resolution, and so forth. This is the first step. Let me now share with you the application form itself. Yes. So the application form will be like this. This is just a sample electronic diversity visa entry form. The first step will be to input the authentication code here. And then you click submit. And then it will be able to take you to the next page, which is part 1, entrant information. Entrant or the applicant information. Number 1, the name. Very important. Make sure whatever you input here is the correct information. You start with the last name or the family name, or also known as surname. Surname, last name, family name are all the same. This is the first box, A. B should be the first name, which most of the time is a Christian name. C is the middle name, which some people may not even have. Okay, let's say, for example, you are coming from Kenya, the Great Rift Valley, and your last name is Koech. Boom. A, Koech. And then B, the first name, maybe you are Peter. And then your middle name is Kiprop. That's well and good. You are good to go. Or let's say your last name, stroke family name, stroke surname is Kamau. Your first name is Thomas. Middle name is Thiongo or whatever. You are good to go. If you have no middle name, you click no middle name. If you have no first name, which is rare, it's very rare, you click this one. If you have no last name or family name, you click this one. But I know for most people would have last name and first name. They may not have the middle name, which is okay. So number 1, the name. And make sure the names or your name should be able to match whatever information is in your primary documents, such as a birth certificate or the passport. The information in your primary document, birth certificate, and the passport, in terms of the names, your names should should match whatever is in the birth certificate. So whatever you input here, make sure in a match na what is in the birth certificate. I know maybe, for example, birth certificate may start with the first name, followed by maybe middle name, followed by last name. Doesn't matter, but you have to be able to specify which is your last name, which is your first name, which is your middle name. And if you have a passport would always start with the last name and maybe the middle name and then first name, or whichever way. So make sure you are not outside of that. Primary document, birth certificate. I know to apply for DV lottery, you don't need a passport, but some people do have. So if you have a passport, first of all, make sure your passport information, your names in the passport matches the names in the birth certificate. Very important. And then now you will input the information about your names here. I think that's understood. Number 2, gender. Are you male or female? Don't make a mistake of maybe you are a male, then you say you accidentally put female. No. Number 3, birth date in the format day, month, year. Don't confuse. Yes. I know some people may be tempted to start with maybe the year, date, day, then month. No. Follow the format given here. It is the day, month, here. Number 4, which is very important, and it's very challenging for some people. It's the city where you are born. Yes, city where you are born. I've been asked this question so many times by the applicants, prospective applicants, about the issue of the city where one is born. I know for most African countries, most people will not be born in cities, maybe villages or towns, small towns. So what I would advise people, you have 2 options. You can either use whatever is in the birth certificate, even though it's not a city, even though it's not a town. That's okay, and that's what I did. The place that I inputted there in that box of city where you are born is not even a city, it's not even a town, but I had to use whatever is in the birth certificate. So don't worry about that. However, I know for some people, maybe you are from Nairobi. Yes, let's say, for example, you are from Nairobi. That's easy for you. Birth city, Nairobi, and that's it. Enter birth city only. Do not, I don't want to read that. Do not enter district, county, province, stroke state. But in some cases, this may not apply. For example, Nairobi is a city. It's also a county, and it was once a province. So it doesn't really matter. So input whatever is in your birth certificate, the place where you are born. I know for some people it can be an hospital, write the name of that hospital, and that's it. However, you can also choose to say birth city unknown, and you will not be penalized for that. So you don't have to agonize over this. You can choose birth city unknown. But for the sake of consistency, and I'm basing on what I did, just input, I recommend, it's a recommendation, just input whatever is in your birth certificate, stroke your passport, city where you are born. If it is Kakamega, that's it. I know it's not a city, or is it? If it is Bungoma, that's it. You have to write whatever is in your birth certificate. If it's Kisii, you have to write. Number 5, country where you are born. Straightforward. That's very straightforward. And with the drop-down menu on the list, be careful. If you are from Kenya, There is also a country, I think it's an island called Kiribati. I've seen some people, instead of choosing Kenya, they click Kiribati by mistake because they were what? They were rushing. So make sure after doing the selection, read whatever you've written there. If it's Kenya, it should stay Kenya. Okay, there is also a situation whereby somebody told me that he was born in Kenya, but he is a citizen of what? Of where? Uganda. For your case, if you are listening to me or if you are watching this, your case would be country where you are born. Click Kenya because you were born in Kenya. And I hope your birth certificate is saying that, because you have to support whatever you put here with your birth certificate. Yes. Country where you are born as per the birth certificate. Number 6, country of eligibility for DV program. What does it say? Your country of eligibility will normally be the same as your country of birth. So for my guy who was born in Kenya, it should be Kenya. It's okay. Just make sure whatever information you input, you are able to support with supporting documents. And majorly, it's the birth certificate or the passport. So straightforward. Number 6 is straightforward. Are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you are born? For most people, yes. If no, you must enter the country from which you are claiming eligibility. Sometimes you may be able to claim eligibility based on maybe where your parents were born or maybe your spouse. Yes. Let's say, for example, you are from Nigeria, but your wife comes from what? Where? Ghana. Nigeria is not an eligible country, but Ghana is. So for your case, you will be claiming eligibility based on your spouse and country of birth, which is Ghana. I hope that is understood. Number 7, straightforward. Entrant photograph. You now upload a qualified DV lottery photo, which meets what? Department of State specifications and requirements. I have a video now to get the right photo and the requirements. So if you wanna check the requirements, watch one of my videos. And then you upload the photo. The next one, okay. I also advise you to make sure you name your photograph. Give it a file name, which in most cases, it should be your name, so that you don't confuse. Yes, especially if you have so many derivatives, make sure you name your photo and you will be good to go. And then number 8, which is very important. I've received several questions about this mailing address, especially 8A, which is in care of, which is also optional. You don't have to write anything here. You can leave it blank. Mailing address is like beer box where you receive your mails or letters, whatever. And let's say, for example, this mailing address is owned by a church or a school. Then you can put maybe if it's a church, you put the name of the church here or your organization. Or if it's owned by an individual, a person, you have to input the name of that person here or you leave it blank. 8B is very important. The actual now address, PO box something. 8C, you leave it blank. 8D is now PO box what? Where is that post office located? Which city or town? You have to input here. Remember this. This is not the same as city of birth. Don't confuse the city of birth with mailing address. This can be anywhere. And it doesn't have to be the place where you are born. Because I know you could be working in maybe Kampala, or maybe Mombasa. So it's your current address. You see? Okay, 8E. Where is this PO box located? Which county, which district, which province, which state? If it is Nairobi, you have to input. 8F, which is very important. And so many people have been confusing this. Some people have been using plus 254, which is wrong. If you do research, you realize that 254, for example, is an international dialing code for Kenya. For TZ, I know it's plus 255. That's for telephones, international telephones. But for postal code, I know in Kenya, for example, every post office has a postal code. And it's normally written somewhere outside there. And if you are not sure, you can always visit your nearest post office and go and ask. Or better still, you can Google your nearest post office and get the postal code. Very easy. If it is Nairobi's CBD or GBO, it's 0100 and so forth. Then 8G, this mailing address is from which country? Let's say, for example, Kenya. Sorry for that. So, from which country? Kenya. Don't worry about the zip code. The zip code in Africa, in most African countries, we don't have zip codes. It's the same thing as postal code. So don't worry about that. And if you have no postal code, click no postal code. But it doesn't make sense because in Kenya, for example, we have postal codes. Why are you not putting that? All the same, the Department of State will not be mailing you anything. It's just for records. Number 9, country where you live today. Very important. Let's say, for example, you are working in Dubai or Qatar. Yes, you should state Qatar. Let's say you are working in maybe Canada, but you are from Kenya. Click Canada. Even though your country of eligibility is Kenya. Phone number is optional, but I do recommend that you input your phone number there. Very important. Woo. Email address. Make sure you input a valid email address here. A valid email. It can be Gmail, it can be Outlook, it can be Yahoo, and so forth. But make sure you have an email address which you can access. You can receive message, you can send message. I repeat, don't use a cybercafe email address. Some of those people have been known to blackmail the applicants. So don't be the one, especially if you end up winning this and your cyber guy is a rock person, he or she can blackmail you. Sorry for that. So make sure you use your own email address. It's very easy to create an email address. It's free, especially Gmail. You can do Googling, you create your Gmail account, and that equates to Gmail address. And make sure you are able to access that Gmail address. Very easy. And then confirm the same email address here. Email address and Gmail, they are all the same. Don't worry about that. I discourage people from using another person's email address. Why? Because it's free to create an email address. Very easy. You can do it on your own. Number 12, which is also very important. What is the highest level of education you've achieved as of today? As of today, by the time you are applying. Let's say, for example, you are still doing your studies. You are in university. You are yet to graduate. For that case, you put some university courses. But if you already graduated and you have the degree itself, you choose this one, university degree. If you have high school certificate, or we call diploma, choose high school degree. It's the same thing. If you have already finished your high school, and you have that certificate or whatever diploma, choose this high school degree. If you went through high school, but for some reason maybe you dropped out, you have no certificate, you choose this one, high school, no degree, which will make your case precarious, because it will mean what? You have to have a 2 years work experience. Sorry for that. Okay. If you have a degree, but you are still working on your master's, you've not finished, click some graduate level courses. If you already have the master's degree, you choose the right one. Of course, you know yourself. Choose whatever applies to you. You must have a minimum of high school diploma reflecting the completion of a full course of study. So if you've not finished, don't try to choose that. Unless you are sure that maybe by the time the results will be out next year, May, you would have finished and gotten your certificate or whatever. That's it. Yeah, that is it. Okay. Number 13, very important. What is your current marital status? Woo. If you are single, you are not married, choose the first one. And it's interesting. You can be single, but you have kids. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You just click unmarried. And then if you have kids, maybe they may require, if you win, they may require the consent letter or the letter of custody, but it's not something, it's not hard to get. You can easily sail through that as long as you have the consent letter from the father or the mother of the children. You don't have to be married. Yes. Number 2, this one, marital status. Option 2, married and my spouse is not a US citizen. But make sure you have the marriage certificate. Sometimes you are married and your spouse is a US citizen. You have to state that. Divorced. Maybe you are divorced. Make sure you have divorce degree or court orders for that. You cannot just say I'm divorced, but you have no documentations. Remember, with this application, you must always have the backup documentation. Widowed. Maybe you've lost your spouse. Make sure you have the marriage certificate and what? As well as the death certificate. Very easy. Legally separated. You can't just say, okay, I'm legally separated from my spouse. No. You have to have legal separation is an arrangement when a couple remain married but live apart following a court order. You must have a court order for that. Okay. Number of children. If you have no children, you input 0. Just type 0. If you have children, it says what? Children include all biological children, legally adopted children, stepchildren who are unmarried, and under the age of 21. So make sure if your child is under the age of 21, you have to include. You must include all eligible children, even if they do not live with you or if they do not intend to apply for diverse visa as your derivative. Sorry for that. Failure to list all eligible children is a ground for disqualification. I've seen people who are disqualified because during the initial application, they failed to include existing children. And then when they won, They now pretend and added the children. They was disqualified. No visa for that. So if you have children, this form should take you to the next page. Part 2, derivatives or dependents. They are the same. Derivatives or dependents. Whereby you start with the spouse name in the same format like yours, last name, first name, middle name, and so forth. If you have no middle name, you have to state. If you have no first name, make sure that you state that. Number 13, birth date in the same format, day, month, year. Gender, don't confuse. If you are a male, say male. If you are a female, say female. City where the spouse was born in the same format as per the birth certificate. Or if the city is unknown, you click unknown. Country is very straightforward, and eventually you have to upload the photo. If you have children, child number 1, the name in the same format. If it's a boy, male, if it's a female, and so forth. And at the end of it, you have to upload the photo. And I recommend that you name all your photos. Make sure your photos have the file name so that you don't confuse when uploading. This is so for those who have derivatives. Let's say you have so many derivatives. So for you to avoid confusion, name your photos. Even if you are a single person, have the habit of naming your photo. So you can write your name and that's it. So that is it about application. It's very easy. As you can see, you can apply on your own. And maybe somebody may ask, what medium can I use? You can apply using your phone. And you have to make sure that your photo or the photos that you intend to upload are saved somewhere in one of the photo folders in your phone. You can also use a PC, personal computer or laptop, or you can visit a cyber cafe and apply on your own, or you can request the help of a cyber guy. I always encourage people to apply on their own. It's very easy because I know cyber cafe guys, they may be doing a lot of applications and they may mix up your applications with the others. They may make mistakes. Nonetheless, if you are using a cyber cafe, make sure you are there so that whenever they are inputting your information, everything is correct. Everything is good to go. I know not everyone will apply on their own. So it's not a bad thing to go to a cyber cafe and seek the application there. Yes, apply there and pay. No, it's good. But if you are able, you can apply on your own. And that's what I did. I applied on my own using my computer, and the rest is history. Yes, because you're able to check your information and you will not blame anybody if there is an error. That's it about DV 2026. Very straightforward form. It's one of the easiest applications. Yes, it's one of the easiest applications. It's even more than the university application. This one is very straightforward. You won't go wrong if you do the right thing, if you follow the instructions. And remember, whatever information you input here, make sure you have the backup. It can be in the form of birth certificate, maybe passport, maybe marriage certificate, divorce degree, separation orders, and so forth. So that when you win, when you are asked a question, there is backup. Very easy. Thank you so much, guys. This is how to apply. I also have videos, several videos on how to apply. I remember with DV 2025, there is a video I did live application for somebody. So if you want to watch, you can watch that and learn how to do the same. Very easy to apply. Everybody can do it. I wish you the best, guys, as you prepare. I hope you've already gotten yourself qualified DV lottery photos. And remember, the requirements are the same for everyone, be it the main applicant or the derivatives. And for those who are married and have marriage certificates and so forth, you can do 2 applications. Yes. Maybe for the husband, and then covering everyone, and also for the wife, covering everyone. That's okay. But as an individual applicant, you are not allowed to do double application or duplicate application. But if you are married, you have 2 chances. That's it. So God bless you guys as you think about applying for DV 2026, which will open next month, October 2024. And it will run until November, first week of November 2024. I wish you the best. God bless you.